Yeah, some of the like the new Beak and Barrel. Did you guys see the thing they showed, like the sneak peek at that?
Yes.
It looks pretty cool. Like I will say, I think it'll be really successful. But I'm curious as to how long the demand stays there. I think it may be really popular if I were to
Yeah,
guess.
I tried booking one a month out, and it's all booked out.
We got one for sometime in September,
Oh yeah,
I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's I mean, it seems like they didn't cheap out on it. It seems like from head to
no.
toe. I'm gonna try and find a picture here, but they didn't like.
I say the theme is even better than Trader Sam's and Trader. I mean, that's a highly themed bar. So to go above and beyond that, I'm pretty impressed. I'll be honest with you. I think to me, I mean, I think it's better than the like when you compare it to some of the themed bars that they have over in Epic Universe. I think that this outdoes pretty much all of them, in my opinion. What do you think? Like, do you think this is? All right, what do you have? You have the Burning Blade, right? That one's okay. I'm not really impressed with that one, but then again, that one's not really supposed to be impressive in the inside. It's supposed to be a
It's supposed to be like a
hole in the wall.
like a tavern from like they don't really.
Yeah.
I don't think Universal's really done these themed lounges before like this. They kind of have just more general bar. I guess you could say the closest would be Hogshead and Harry Potter.
Yeah, not
but
counting Finnegan's or anything like that. Yeah,
yeah. But I think this one, I think you're going to see a lot more of these like themed lounges pop up because they started kind of on the cruise ships where you have like the Haunted Mansion one and they've done what was it? I think they did
Star Wars.
Yeah, like a Doctor Strange one. So I think you may see. I still think a Haunted Mansion one would probably be insanely popular.
Oh, dude, that'd be crazy. Okay, I want to ask you guys something. Because there's been a lot. I'm sure you've seen it like on Instagram or even X or whatever, where there's been a lot of reports that Gen Z, they're not drinking like millennials were drinking, right?
Right.
They are not.
Now Disney is going all in on these bars, right? Mm-hmm. Is that going to be a long term? Right now, it's money. I mean, right now they're going to print money for sure. But with Gen Z not drinking as much, and if they continue that trend, is this going to be a problem for Disney in say 15 or 20 years, where you have all these bars and nobody's really using them? Or do you think that Gen Z will eventually get on board?
I think this is why you've seen a lot of the mocktails become a thing for this reason. And I do know my sister-in-law works for a distributor, and she basically told me like drinking for Gen Z is like falling off a cliff. Like they don't drink for the most part. But you have seen a lot more. I've seen a lot more in the past like 6 months of a lot of mocktails. You've even seen Disney and Universal doing a lot more of them. And there's, I mean, what's insane is they're charging almost the same price as alcoholic drinks for non-alcoholic ones.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, Tom Holland just started his own non-alcoholic beer company.
Yep, I saw that. It'll probably morph into like the experience of being in. I think that's a lot of these too. It's like I don't think anybody's going into like they wouldn't let you, I'm sure, go into this Beak and Barrel and just get hammered. Yeah. But I don't think most people are going in there necessarily to drink a lot. It's just like the experience of being in there sort of thing. You got like 45 minutes. This is the same as like Oga's. You got 45 minutes to be in here and then you got to go. So I think you could probably see a big shift to like mocktails and getting, who knows? I mean, they also have some THC drinks that are out there. I could see those becoming popular over time as well. But yeah, it's interesting with Gen Z. Because it's definitely, and even like you're seeing general drinking fall off. Yeah. Like even millennials, it's tailing down a bit. I mean, I never have drank much, but like I was telling you guys, I've been drinking like 5 or 6 months, and I'm like, I don't really want to. Outside of like a beer every once in a while, I just don't have any desire to really do it.
Well, this was the first weekend that I drank in a long time. Because I was out with everybody, I figured, okay, I'll enjoy a few drinks, and I gotta say, there is something to that, Jared. You do lose your taste for it. It's weird, right? Mm-hmm. Like the longer you go without it, it doesn't hit the same.
I got into, I still like a good bourbon. My brother and I will go get bottles, and I have so many bourbon bottles have been gifted to me. They literally, like, I will never drink all the bourbon I have my entire life. Like if I drank it all, I'd just be gone. But I noticed that it was like 8 months ago. I was visiting my brother, and we went and got stuff. So we were trying some different ones. And like it was the same way. Like I was tasting it, and I was just like, I don't know. Like I just didn't like. I used to be able to just sip it straight, and I was just like, I don't want it straight. Like I was getting into mixed stuff, but I just it's not I don't know. Maybe I hit a point in my life where it's like I don't see the pros of it as much. Like you pay for, especially as you get older, you pay for it a little bit more. You're not going to feel great the next day necessarily, and it's just like, I could do without it. Like I've been enjoying, probably honestly, to be honest, probably like nicotine pouches more than I have like getting a drink. Like I just rather do that and like have a soda or something and chill. But
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe just being older.
Well, there is something to be said about that too. The three of us are about the same age, you know, and
27.
I'm telling you, in my 20s, man, I used to be able to go clubbing and I used to pound those drinks. It was Jägermeister, no problem, right?
Oh gosh.
Now, I mean, I wake up like I'm in the ICU. Like I'm like it just destroys me, man, you know, for like 3 days.
SOS text like, oh, help me. I remember I used to, when I was in my 20s, I would, we'd whatever, and then I would go work out the next morning. I'd totally fine, no issue. I remember the first time I ever was hungover, I was visiting a friend in Texas, and I was like, I thought I got sick. I was like, woke up and I was like, oh man, I got the flu. And I'm sitting there and someone's like, I think you're just hungover. I'm like, what is hungover? And like, I never had been hungover. And then that's what it was. And then, as time has gone on, like there's even times where I haven't gotten drunk. And which I haven't been drunk since my brother's bachelor party, and he has been married for almost 10 years. So that's how long it's been since I've been like, I would consider myself drunk. But just having some drinks and like the next day, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like I could just do without I need half a day to recoup from just having a couple of drinks to, relax the night before. And then Baxter Olson says, I'm 35 and being hungover is why I stopped drinking too, LOL. Yeah, it's not fun. I mean, that wasn't the main, well, honestly, for me, a lot of it is like, I work out and stuff like that. And I noticed in the days I would drink, my workouts are terrible and I couldn't recover. And I'm like, okay, I'm not 24 anymore. I got to not do this as much. I just actually kind of just lost the like want to. There wasn't ever like any reason. I just didn't find myself wanting to anymore.
I feel like you just get so busy as you get older. Like as I get older, I find I have less and less recreational time just because I can always find things for me to do to be productive. It doesn't necessarily have to be work. It doesn't even have to be a creative outlet. It's just there are things to do. I own a home. I have dogs. I have a kid. There's always something. So
well, it's like I have goals I want to accomplish. And I think a lot of times it's like certain things help you accomplish those goals and certain things don't.
Right.
And I don't know. I'm not gonna really drink in front of my kids much either. So it's just like, like whatever. Like it just kind of fell off, and I realized the other day it's been like months that I had.
Well, it's like one of those things where like, I think when you're in your early 20s, everything is an excuse to drink, right? Where like now, when we get to like our age, and even like in your 30s, it's more of like a time and place kind of thing. You're at a bachelor party, cool. Have at it, boss. Or you're at a bar with friends or something for some event or whatever. Like stuff like that's fine, but like this daily or like every weekend thing, people definitely outgrow that. You know what I'm saying? And good. I mean, your body can't really sustain it anyway for long periods of time. So
a couple of my friends in the neighborhood, they drink pretty heavily. They used to. One of my buddies, he was drinking a lot, like 6-pack a night almost. And I was like, man, that is like, it's not good. And he switched and ended up getting into like edibles, and he quit drinking and he lost like 20 pounds because he was just drinking so much beer all the time. And he was like, I feel better. I'm like, I think you also like your body can adapt really well to whatever you throw at it. And I think a lot of times your body just adapts to having that much alcohol. And then when people stop drinking, they're like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better. And I'm like, yeah, you don't have junk running through, like your body has to get rid of it.
You stop drinking poison. That's what happens.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You'd be surprised at how fast you'd lose weight without that crap in your body. People don't realize how much of their calories come from drinks and not food.
Yep. Well, when I did personal training, the little thing I would always do is like just don't drink your calories. And I would have I would literally, if I could get a client to stop drinking soda, they'd lose like 15 pounds. Even if they did nothing else, even if they were doing workouts, it's like just stuff like that of like, I think people like, especially like certain coffee drinks and things like Starbucks, just have 500 calories and like a Frappuccino or something like that. I'm just like, that's a lot of stuff to just, every once in a while, fine. But like on a daily basis, it's just,
Well, and that's the other thing too. A lot of people don't realize there's also a lot of misconceptions as to what's better or worse for you out there in the public, right? Like, for example, people will be like, I've had people be like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna have a soda, I'm gonna be healthy today, but then they'd pound like a huge thing of orange juice. I'm like, the orange juice has just as much sugar, maybe more,
Right.
than the soda.
Right.
But people don't
Right.
realize that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They think, oh, soda. But a lot of people, they don't really educate themselves on that stuff. And then they end up not losing weight and they're wondering why. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
you know.
That's true.
I can tell there's so much like, yeah, in terms of actual nutrition and stuff like that. Like, and this I'm not talking out of my rear end on this. I was a personal trainer for like 10 years. I got heavily into fitness through sports. And what's funny is like, I actually didn't drink any alcohol until I was like 20 because I played year-round sports. Like I was playing college sports and everything. And so like I just didn't do it because like we had early morning practices and I was trying to get the most out of my body. And I was like, I just won't do it. So like I went through a little phase where I drink a little bit, but even then, like it didn't last very long before I was like, this isn't a productive lifestyle. Like I remember vividly being, and I always hated clubs, but I went to, your friends want to go to a club. You're like, fine, we go. And I remember seeing this dude at the bar, and I'm like 22. This guy was in his 40s, just drinking and like, Night at the Roxbury style. And I just remember looking at the guy being like, I don't want to be that. And I left. I literally was like, all right, I'm leaving. And I left and I just never went to the club again. I was like, I'm not doing that. Because I was just like, if you keep going, I've always thought like my brain jumps to end points. So like if I'm sitting there doing something, I was like, is this going to be something like, what's this look like in 10 years? And I just really quickly did the math, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be the 45-year-old guy at the bar hitting on 20-year-old chicks because it was like so sad to see it. And he thought he was super cool. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm just not going to do it. Yeah.
Well,
I'm glad.
That is a little bit weird. And the thing too is like, it's just not like health wise. Like when you're 25 or 20 or whatever, you're just starting out with drinking. Your body can process that and you're fine.
Yeah.
But when you're in your mid 40s and you've been doing that since you were 22, I mean, you got some damage now. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Well, you know what's even crazy is beer specifically is a testosterone inhibitor. So you're already older, you're already losing testosterone, or you have lower testosterone than you do when you're 20 or 30s, which affects things like muscle growth, which again is another issue because now you're losing about 1% of muscle every year as you get older after the age of 40. But now you're making it even worse because now you're drinking a testosterone inhibitor. Matter of fact, it actually increases your estrogen.
Yep.
Right. So I mean, it's like a triple whammy just drinking a beer a day or 2 beers a day. And you don't think you might be thinking, well, I'm regulated because I'm only drinking 2, but in actuality, you're not because you haven't factored in your age and the fact you produce less testosterone, right?
Yep.
And so you have to factor in, man, like I need to eat, I need to recuperate, I need to sleep more. If you don't sleep enough, again, it affects your testosterone levels. Everything just about everything you do in your 40s is related around how you can either maintain or increase your testosterone levels, and it's something you don't take into consideration obviously until you get to this age because you never get older, right? I'm always going to be in my 20s, I'm always going to be in my 30s, and then you finally hit like 39 and 40, you're just like, oh shit, like I need to get it catches up. Yeah, it catches up.
And Rogue even said here, 1 beer a day can add between roughly 36,000 calories and 55,000 calories over a year. So yeah,
that's wild.
It adds up. It really adds up.
Yeah. Well, and like not to get like, I don't know, not to take it there, but like for me, I've get a lot more serious. I've always been I'm a Christian, so I've always been very serious about that stuff. But like, I just lately have found myself more like taking it more serious, like really trying to figure stuff out a little bit more. And I just found it would just like melt away. Like I was just like, okay, is this something that's going to help me become a better husband, father, business owner? No. So it's like, okay. But the things that do help me is like working out. Like if I didn't work out every day, like I would probably lose my mind. Like I would be in prison probably. So it's like, it's that constant I've always had. So it's like, I think I've always thought it was weird about other people. Like I realized as I got older, like most people don't think about endpoints. Whereas I went my whole life, I would watch people in my life and be like, they're not going to like, that's not going to end well for them. And I don't know why, but it's always been that way. So for me, it's like, things will just get cut out because I'll sit there and think about it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be like that. Or I don't want to be like this guy that I know like this.
Well,
and so it's just,
and people don't realize, because there's this thing too in society where like, oh, if you're 40, your life is over and you're just going to look like you're just going to have a dad bod guaranteed. Right. But the 3 of us are in our 40s and none of us have a dad bod because we take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like you can be in your 40s, even your 50s or 60s. I mean, look at Bob Iger. Dude, that guy looks great. He's in his 70s, right?
He does look good for a man in his 70s. I will give him that.
I mean, if you take care of yourself, you can look a lot younger. You can, you know what I'm saying? There's this misconception in the world where like, well, it's over. I have to deal with the dad bod because it's become so normalized, but you don't have to deal with it. You can eat good, you can work out, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. And it's true. Like you might not recover as fast. You might need 2 or 3 days in between heavy lifting sessions. Okay, fine. But it doesn't mean that you still can't get gains. And the longer you train, the more results you're going to see. So it's really all about consistency more than anything. I mean, I'm stronger now than I was when I was in the Marines. And I did a lot of working out when I was in the Marines. You know what I mean? I was physical every single day, but I was also drinking a lot back then as well. I mean, I drank so much in my 20s. I did like a lifetime's worth of drinking. So that's I'm good now. Like I got it completely out of my system.
Thank you so much for watching OG55. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and become a member today.